So how do you feel about me dating a girl that's bi?
You mean that like she likes both?
She like both, yeah. How you feel about that?
You want these questions? Y'all comment below. I want y'all's opinions too on this one. So, why are you asking?
So a couple weeks ago, I met this girl at a party. Right?
Yeah.
And we talking. I felt the vibes. I felt the chemistry. I felt like she liked. We was getting it. So I was talking to her, right? And when we was talking, she mentioned to me that she had a girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend that she was talking to. And in my mind, I was like, hold on, I thought she was, I thought she was feeling me, what I'm saying? But she got a girlfriend. So I was like, I didn't say that to her, but in my mind I was like, is she straight? So then I realized she was bi. And, I just don't know like how I feel about that,
I laugh when you're talking because I was like, why is he telling me to wear my Whitney Houston shirt? Just saying. But no, okay, let me tell you this. I'm gonna say this real. I'm gonna be real with you, okay?
Yeah.
When I have a story about this. When I was like, oh gosh, I was young. I'm not gonna give no exact age when this happened, but nonetheless, dude drops in my DMs, a blue check mark, okay? So I'm like, who is this? As soon as I go to this page, I realize he is a professional athlete, okay? Right. And so I was like, I'm good. Been there. I didn't want to do that because my assumption was that he must be DL. Right. He's hiding, and I don't do hiding. I'm not gonna be your little secret. I'm good. And so, nonetheless, I was just like, I'm good. And so I said, well, it's nice to meet you. Have a good day. And then he's like, oh, you just gonna blow me off like that? Like you can't at least, talk to me? Like he just came at me again. I was like, well, let me be very direct with you. I don't deal with guys like you. He's like, you mean athletes? I said, no, I mean DL. I put it right out there, okay? I've had my heart broken.
So you felt the type of way.
Well, I don't.
So why did you feel that?
Why did I feel that?
Why did you feel like that back then?
I felt that way because I'd had my heart broken by a guy who apparently liked both and ultimately got all my goodness and my good energies, right. And then ended up popping off and leaving me to go back to what he was more accustomed to. I will say it like that, right? And so I wasn't trying to get burned again. And he said to me, he says, I'm not DL. I like both and I'm open about it. And I said, well, I mean, it doesn't look like that on your page. He's like, I'm a professional athlete. Why I wouldn't post nothing like that. Do you see anybody on my page? I was like, that is a good point. Yeah. And so long story short, we started getting to know each other. Sweetest guy, nicest guy, the best gifts. I mean, the best gifts on earth. Okay, just fabulous, nice, all these wonderful things, baby. But here's the thing that happened. I became the problem. The problem. Because the fact is I was so paranoid. I had all these assumptions in my mind about what it meant for him to like both. And so every time we'd be out and about, I remember one time we were at like a mall or something like that, and when a guy would walk by who I thought was that he'd be attracted to, I'm like looking at him to see if he's looking at that. And then when a girl walked by, I'm looking to see if he'd be attracted to her.
See, and that's what I was like, to be honest with you, that was my concern with, because it's like women know women better in a way,
No.
Like in a way, I feel that way because it's like she may be able to support her emotionally because, they know each other in that way. Mm-hmm. And she may be able to satisfy her, in ways that I may not be able to,
But if women were the only thing that could satisfy her, then why is she not exclusively with them? I'm just saying, for her to acknowledge that she likes both, doesn't that mean she gets satisfaction from both?
So I hear you, but like, what if one day she just pop up and wake up one day and it's like, I don't want to be with you no more. I want a girl now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, but what stops her from popping up one day if she was straight and saying to you, I don't want to be with you. I want to be with this other guy over here.
But now I hear you. But now I got another option that she could, like, she has another option she could go to.
I mean,
so it's like she could wake up one day and be like, oh, I could go to this dude, or she could wake up and be like, I can go. But what's the likelihood of her waking up, like, if she's already with me? Why would she go to another dude versus, it wouldn't make sense, but it's like she's going to something way different.
But here's the thing I want you to consider. If someone has a propensity to cheat, if someone has if it is likely for somebody to hop from relationship to person, that ain't got nothing to do with what their orientation is. You got women and men who only like, hear me out, they only like the opposite gender. They're straight. Right. And those people will hop from relationship to relationship and will cheat. And you have people who like both, who can be faithful. This is not an issue of because she likes both that she can't focus. It's an issue of character. If you decide to get in a relationship with this young woman, you just met her, you know what I mean? So you may not even find you like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you were to get into a relationship with this young woman, at the end of the day, it's her character, not her orientation, that's going to dictate she's going to be faithful to you.
See, character's one thing, but what stops her from, waking up one day, like that's, I'm still
just changing her mind.
Yeah, exactly. That just brings me back to my point. Like what stops her from, saying I don't want a guy today. Like I just don't want to be with a guy today. Or maybe she want both. Maybe she wants to be with me while being with, while being with a girl.
Do you think people are capable of liking both?
I don't know. I guess.
So I want you to consider this, okay? So there's something called the Kinsey scale. Have you heard of the Kinsey scale?
What's up?
So what the Kinsey scale is it's essentially this. It is saying that the mindset that there are three orientations, straight, bi, gay, that's not necessarily true. That a lot of people, they believe most people honestly, fall on this spectrum. And what that means is this. Let's say that 0 means you're straight and 100 means that you only like the same gender. Most of us think when we think of bi, we think, oh, you're 50-50. Some people may be 90-10, meaning 90% of their orientations towards one group and only 10% interest towards the other. And it can shift at different points in their life, right? So there's a lot. My point is that there are a lot of people out there who are open to both, or who at the very least are attracted to both. So if you take the stance, hear me out, if you take the stance that automatically, just because someone may like both, and is honest enough to tell you about it, that this person, A, is possibility of them cheating on you, this person is this. Basically, you're telling yourself all these things that make you indirectly rule them out. Right. First of all, you're cutting out a massive segment of the dating pool for yourself, so you gotta consider that. Second of all, you're making big assumptions about this person's character. Right. And who they are. My thing is, I'm more concerned about the character of the person who likes both and doesn't admit it. That's the one you got to worry about. The liar, the person who's hiding it. Right?
Now, like what you said about the Kinsey scale. So you were saying it fluctuates, right?
Throughout their life, it
so
can.
What you're saying, like basically what you said is she could wake up one day and be like, I don't want you no more.
Well, let me say this. You got a valid point. Valid point. But you could wake up one day and be like, I don't want you no more. Like, okay, so y'all know Marco, he like his milk. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Okay. Now don't bring y'all's old behinds up to my house. Okay, I'm gonna be like, Deborah, go home.
Hey,
okay?
y'all ain't even gotta listen.
I'm gonna be like, Deborah, go home. All right, listen, but on the same page, you also like young women who are age appropriate. Yeah. You like women who are tall, women who are short, women who are fair skinned, women who are dark skinned. You like all forms. So what if you got with the woman who was one body type, one age group, one whatever it may be, and then 5 years later you no longer attracted to her? Are your attractions allowed to change too? People's attractions change all the time.
That's a good point,
but let me say this. A relationship is not solely built on attraction, because any relationship, whether it's a straight relationship or a whatever relationship, any relationship that's only built on attraction, if that's the only thing that's keeping you tied to that person, you're not gonna be with them very long. Hear me out. You're not gonna be with them very long. If a relationship has to be built on other things, companionship, friendship, shared interests, and so on, so that even if a young woman walks down the street who looks, dare I say it, even more attractive than the woman you with, you're gonna keep choosing the one you with because it's about more than that. Someone who chooses to be in a relationship with you, they're making the choice to be in a relationship with you based on interest and based on other factors that go deeper than just what is your gender. And so my thing is, get to know her first. Get to know how she approaches relationships. Get to know what is her orientation towards that, because that's going to tell you everything about does this woman have the ability to be able to be faithful to you.
So what you're saying is it's not solely based off of attraction, because attraction can, they can, be attracted to different things.
You can be attracted to different women at different times.
But it's all about, who that person is and, their character and, that relationship that's beyond the attraction. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. It goes deeper than that. at the end of the day, give her up. And I'm not trying to encourage you to date any one type of person. I'm not trying to encourage you to do that. At the end of the day, you're allowed to have your desires, your preferences, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is dig deeper. Because ultimately, when we're saying, I'm afraid that she may do this, or I'm afraid that they may do that, ultimately what it's coming down to is that you have underlying insecurities. For some people, not for everybody, I ain't trying to pull everybody's card, but for some people, they're concerned about dating someone who goes both ways is, am I enough to keep your attention? Am I enough for you to be faithful to me? And the reality is, if that's your concern, you're gonna have the same concern towards a perfectly straight woman. Because at the end of the day, if you know you're enough and you trust your own ability to pick a good partner who's gonna be faithful to you, and you know you trust in yourself, not just in who you are, but in who you pick, then you don't have no concerns about who they looking at or what they gonna do. So it's about their character, but more importantly, it's about your own personal sense of security and confidence in yourself. Because if you're confident in yourself and how you pick people, you ain't got to worry about nothing. And here's the other thing, whether they are straight or whether they like both, if somebody act up and get out of line and do something that's outside of what y'all agree to, you can always break up with them. You're not stuck with them.
Exactly. You know, and what I guess, you know, another thing that I thought about too was, you know, if I'm not with her, you know, if I'm not, you know, if we're not in a relationship, I don't mind, you know, I don't mind.
Oh my God.
I don't mind it, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind her bringing a friend.
She is not your plaything, y'all. Bye, click like and click share.